You've probably been told hell is eternal fire, no escape, endless suffering. But what if that's not the full picture? What if the Bible doesn't describe just one version of hell, but several? And depending on which one you understand, it completely changes everything. Because here's what most people don't realize. The word hell in your Bible doesn't come from one word, it comes from multiple. Sheol, Hades, Gehenna. 3 different terms, 3 different meanings, all translated into one English word. And once you see that, this topic becomes a lot more complex than most people realize. Let's start with Sheol. In the Old Testament, Sheol isn't fire, it isn't punishment, it's the grave, a shadowy place of the dead, where everyone goes, the righteous and the wicked. It's quiet, dark, more like a resting place than a place of torment. Then in the New Testament, you see Hades, similar idea, a temporary place of the dead. Not final judgment, not the end, but something in between. And then there's Gehenna. This one is different. Gehenna was an actual valley outside Jerusalem, associated with fire, destruction, and judgment. So when Jesus uses this word, he's pointing to something serious, something final, something meant to be avoided at all costs, so right away. We're not dealing with one simple idea of hell. We're dealing with layers, history, imagery, warning, and reality, all combined. And this is where people begin to disagree, because depending on which of these words you focus on, you end up with completely different conclusions. The most common view is that hell is eternal, conscious punishment. In this understanding, those who reject God experience ongoing suffering, forever. There are passages that describe unquenchable fire, and judgment that does not end. Hell, in this view, is final, irreversible, eternal. It emphasizes justice, that what we do matters, that choices have consequences, and that separation from God is not temporary. If you're into clear, honest breakdowns like this, no hype, just what the text actually shows, subscribe. Because most people stay at surface level, but we're going deeper. Now, not everyone reads those passages the same way. Another view, called annihilationism, takes a different approach. It agrees that judgment is real, that choices matter, but it questions this: is the punishment eternal suffering, or is it something else? In this view, the final result is destruction, not endless torment, but the end of existence. Verses like, "The wages of sin is death," and "they will be destroyed," are taken at face value. Death means death. Destruction means destruction. So instead of suffering forever, those who reject God ultimately cease to exist. It's still serious, still final, but understood differently. And then there's a third perspective, less common, but increasingly discussed. This view suggests that judgment is real, but not the end of the story. It points to passages that say, God desires all people to be saved, and that through Christ, all things will be reconciled. In this understanding, judgment is not just punishment, but correction, a process that ultimately leads to restoration. The idea is that God's mercy is greater than human rebellion, and that in the end, nothing is beyond redemption. Now, this view is debated strongly. Many Christians disagree with it, but it exists for a reason, because when people read the same Bible, they don't always see the same conclusions. So what does the Bible actually say about hell? It says judgment is real. It says our choices matter. And it uses powerful, sometimes unsettling imagery to communicate that. But it doesn't always speak in one simple category. Instead, it gives us pictures, warnings, parables, language shaped by history and culture. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the goal isn't just to win an argument about hell, but to actually understand what the Bible is trying to show us, that our lives matter, that our choices matter, and that what we do with God matters more than we think. Because whatever view someone holds, they all agree on this. God is just, God is merciful, and what you do with that matters. So the real question isn't just, what is hell? It's, what is this meant to change in you? Watch this next, because this is where the full story comes together.